Time for the next episode of the Chronicles of George. This one is entitled, George Got Himself a Little Girlfriend. This episode is brought to you by my new book, Ashy Men Will Make You Fat, a petty self-help guide. We're out here trying to help women see the red flags waving because getting with an ashy man will impact or could impact your mental, physical, emotional, and financial health. So go ahead, find it on bourbonbougieshop.com. That is bourbonbougieshop.com. Now back to this episode of the Chronicles of George. This message from Miss Sassy was kind of a long one. So as usual, per usual, get you a refreshing beverage, get you a snack, maybe go to the bathroom. Okay, so this is what she said. She said, this is a good one. Mr. Fabulous and I were preparing someone for final rest. This one will be routine, not to sound crass. It's a good thing. This guy's family seems like a decent, pleasant Christian family. Anyways, we came upstairs. Mrs. M, our boss, and Godzilla, this is a new character, Godzilla, were in our boss's office. Godzilla is another mortician from the other funeral home my boss's family owns. He's 6'2", 250 pounds. He graciously agreed to take Mr. Seed Spreader, the messy baby daddy, or the reckless sperminator. Okay, so he agreed to take the reckless sperminator to the church, then to the cemetery for us. We thought his imposing presence would deter any craziness. He said it did not. Still just as much arguing, just no physical fights. Only about half the people. He said they were arguing in the church. You can't get much worse than that. When Mr. Fabulous clued him in to the ongoing story, the Chronicles of George, he says he wants a nickname too. And he chose Godzilla because of his size. Mrs. M joked, I go away for one weekend and look what happens. She knows all of that would have happened regardless. She said, don't worry, they're dealing with me now. I'll give them the bill for the damages. That time she was serious. We don't have extensive damages at all, but our boss is kind of mad at how that guy's family behaved. So he said, bill them for the minor damages that occurred during the funeral brawl. Then our boss starts talking about George's new girlfriend. Yes, he sat at the desk with his head down and said, I don't know. I hope this is a passing phase. It's gross and embarrassing. Mr. Fabulous asked bluntly, who's his girlfriend? Our boss sighs and says, I seriously hope they are not actually boyfriend and girlfriend. The woman is 31, less than 6 months older than his oldest daughter. I spit water all over the floor, the wall, and my shirt. Mr. Fabulous rolled his eyes at me and started laughing and gave me tissue to wipe it up. My boss says, she's a total idiot. Lives like a hippie, one of those natural girls. Biracial, lives with her hippie white mom in the damn woods, in a shipping container. They don't wear deodorant or makeup or even shoes. I know exactly who these weird nomadic MFs are. He looks at all of us, smirking, and says, I know you want to laugh. We all bust out laughing. Godzilla says, so Mr. George is trying to find himself by living in the woods with hippies. Our boss says, George still stays at his mom's house, but has been disappearing for days at a time this past week, and week and a half to go have relations with the dingbat in the woods. Mr. Fabulous is laughing so hard he's crying and said, Lord, I'm glad I didn't put on mascara. Even Mrs. M was laughing so hard she had to run to the bathroom because she claimed she almost wet her pants. She came out still laughing and said, I'm an old woman. Don't do that. My boss comes out, stretches a little, and says, this is embarrassing as all hell. He's supposed to be working on himself, not chasing tenderonis. Mr. Fabulous says, no one says that anymore. And we start laughing again. Our boss says, I said it. Get out of here. You two smell like chemicals anyway. And we went back downstairs. On the way down, we saw Kyle coming back from lunch, and Mr. Fabulous tells him, don't you dare turn on your music. You can listen to Nas in your car. Mr. Fabulous went straight to listening to his listening post, The Vent, and is cleaning brushes and waiting for more tea. So I know that everybody has not watched all of the videos. So remember, Kyle is the intern that is taking George's spot while he is in North Carolina. He is in North Carolina because he's supposed to be on a health leave getting himself together. So that's Kyle. Mr. Fabulous listens for tea through the vent. So you can kind of imagine him with his flamboyant, his fabulousness and being flamboyant, but listening in the vents. Mrs. M, who is the office manager and the older lady, she can hear everything. And she says that Miss Sassy and Mr. Fabulous, they talk so loud, so she can hear a lot of stuff. Mr. Bossman, the boss man who I named Michael, he is friends, he's childhood friends with George, and that's one of the reasons why George gets so much leeway. Godzilla is new, and like I said, he is another mortician in another funeral home. And remember, all of this takes place. These people are actually working. This all takes place at a funeral home. They are actually working on people in the midst of this George drama. And as you can see, there are all kind of side plots. Now, I don't know if this new girlfriend is going to be important enough to get a nickname just yet. But for right now, we're just calling her George's little girlfriend. So that is the tea for right now. There's no cliffhangers today. Y'all go ahead, jump in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this episode. Can you envision them sitting around the table, around the office, the boss man being exasperated, everybody else looking like they're about to bust out laughing at any moment? Can you imagine the scene as we are creating this series? Because this has been several episodes. We're at least in season 2 of the Chronicles of George. So you guys have got to be envisioning this as I'm telling the stories. Y'all go ahead, jump in. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share.